Welcome back to the JayMac News Show. It is that time, my friends, when we open up the court of public opinion, where I preside, the dishonorable Jay Mcfarland presiding, as we're going to present a moral conundrum to you, a question based upon something that Ethan Millard, co-host of the Nightside Project podcast, stumbled across something in the wilderness, and the question is, what should he have done with it, and did he act appropriately? Just a reminder, you guys are still podcasting the Nightside
right.
Project.
Yep.
They can listen to it on the KSL News Radio app.
And we had this discussion on the podcast. And I thought we can't ignore this because I had to bring in another person here. You got to be our Judge Judy on this because Millard goes to Canyonlands National Park. He rolls up there. He's with his kids. They're all hanging out. They're on the banks of the beautiful Colorado River. When in the corner of his eye, he spots a big bag of drugs.
Yeah, it was about a large sandwich bag filled with cannabis products.
Okay.
Cannabis products. What are you?
Including some edible gummies that had been invaded by an animal. An animal got into it.
Oh, see, now you're poisoning nature.
Poisoning nature.
A large pill bottle. In fact, we got a photo of it. I think we're showing it here on the video. Yeah.
So there it is.
Oh, you took pictures of it.
And a large pill bottle stuffed full of weed and then some various paraphernalia.
Is that a needle or what is that?
No,
that's a vaporizer.
Yeah, it's
There's
a vaporizer.
Okay.
So we found that.
So Ethan puts a picture up and he shows me. I'm mouth agape because I was like, well, that's crazy. So where'd you throw it away? He's like, oh, no, I left it.
We didn't. So I left it there. I felt like it wasn't my business. Plus, there's no obvious place to throw it away because on the White Room Trail, there are no garbage cans.
Oh, you just gave away where all the drugs are.
So, okay.
Oh,
so to
you
get
mean
this,
the marijuana trail at Canyonlands?
So the case is simple, right?
Yeah.
You find a bag of drugs. You're out in the wilderness, no trash cans. You're trying to decide, do I take this with me? Because that would present some obvious risks.
Then I'm in possession of a controlled substance.
That's right.
And I'm in a national park. And you know how Jeff Sessions, that's federal property.
That's right.
You know how Jeff Sessions views
You know
this.
what? It might have been a setup. Sessions might have been behind the bush. What are you doing there?
And I just felt like, when you're on the White Room Trail, it's not like you're going to be at the visitor center later on that day.
Yeah.
You're on there for a couple of days. And so if I would have taken that weed into my possession, I would have had to have kept it for a couple of days.
He had his kids with him.
I didn't feel like that was my problem.
Now we get to the next part where I go, well, that's crazy. So you told the next ranger that you saw, right? To which Ethan responded, it's not my business. It's not my property.
I didn't tell any rangers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why not? Why didn't you at least tell somebody there was a big bag of drugs?
On...
No, I would not. And I'll tell you why I didn't tell any rangers. It's because in that bag was that pill bottle.
Yeah.
And what if there was some identifying information?
You mean what if somebody was found out to be possessing an illegal substance?
And I would have then gotten them in trouble for something that I don't think is really worth.
If you saw somebody reporting another, okay, so it's the crime itself that you don't think.
Oh,
like if this was somebody committing a robbery, you might say something, but if it's just possession of weed,
that's
you
what
won't
I said.
say
That's
anything.
See something, do nothing. That's
I was concerned. I was concerned. I thought, well, I just end up getting this person in trouble because and it's because that bag might have been completely legal just a few miles to the east in Colorado.
Like, what if they have glaucoma? Is that what you're thinking?
Right. And I've gotten them in trouble with Jeff Sessions, and I don't have to. I'm going to leave.
Okay,
so I left it.
As it was, even with all those things in mind, you still left a big bag of drugs on the ground in the desert where he claims, it's probably still there.
Look,
it's probably still there, so if you want to go claim it.
Hold on.
Come on.
Not only did I leave a big bag of drugs in the desert.
Yeah, can we get that quote?
Get that drop.
But my conscience is completely clear on the matter.
I'm sure it is.
Completely clear.
Okay, I just want to ask you, did you ever think of, because I understand your thought process here, there's some other options available.
I could have used it right there. I could have smoked it up.
Okay, that's not one I was thinking of. I wasn't
bro.
thinking you could make brownies.
That's
I
not
wasn't, campground brownies. I wasn't thinking that.
Okay,
I was thinking, what if you buried it, for example?
Oh. Okay.
Or what if
now we're talking.
Or what if you decided to go hide it under some branches or something else?
See something, hide something.
It was already hidden.
Well, it's not so hidden that you didn't just find it walking up.
See, this is why I say the litmus test was really Ethan found it interesting enough to take a cajillion pictures of it and be like, dude. But was like, it wasn't my business. I didn't want to do anything with it.
Well, I think it's
drugs
hilarious.
Are still on the White Room Trail, they're still probably there, dude.
I posted it on Instagram to let people know.
So now some 17-year-old's going to find it because he heard it on, but some out-of-breath 17-year-old's all, we found it. Yes, we found it. And then now it's on you because then they got hooked on the gateway drug, Ethan.
Another texter saying an option was to burn it.
Oh, no fires back there. No
they don't allow fires.
No fires.
And so the ranger comes up on you, and you're burning.
Yeah.
You're burning marijuana.
The only way I could
Why'd you start that fire? This isn't mine. I found these drugs, dude.
The only way I could have incinerated is if I would have kept it with me for 2 days.
No, that's not the only way you could have incinerated it.
I'm not high-fiving you. I'm not high-fiving you.
All right, so this is the moral conundrum. Alex, you feel what? What should he have done?
The clear conscience thing. I mean, I would have, even with my kids, I would have said, hey, I wouldn't have shown it to them or anything. I pick it up, I put it in the middle console of my car, and if I see a ranger, if I come across somebody, I say, hey, look, we were down at the White Room Trail, I'm here with my kids, and somebody left this bag down there. They wouldn't go, yeah, right, turn around, because no one does that.
No, that scenario works right.
Or you
unless
get to the part
you
where
happen
there's
to
a
have
garbage.
gotten pulled over before you see a ranger.
doing donuts in Canyonlands.
I don't know. I don't know.
Either way, I would still be conscience clear. I would still be fine knowing, like, if he goes, yeah, but are these your drugs? I'd be like, absolutely not. We found them in the thing. There's no place to throw it away. There's no place to burn it. Why would I do this? I don't have a drug problem, okay?
Let me ask you a question. What if there was a needle in the bag? Does that change anything for you?
Definitely don't touch it.
Well, that's a different kind of drug.
Yeah, and a different danger because a needle is...
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So,
maybe that would have swayed you a little bit.
Maybe I might have said something to the Rangers. Said, hey...
You can... Okay. Go to the Facebook page, look at Ethan's bag of drugs. No, they're not Ethan's bag of drugs.
Well, we have a listener asking, where can I go to collect my lost property?
I'll just say this.
It's the weirdest geocache ever.
Like, we were driving the White Rim Trail and enjoying the scenery on the banks of the Colorado River. We'd gone down to the Colorado River.
This is the worst treasure hunt KSL's ever done.
That will put you within about...
people
that will put you within about 50 yards.
You don't have you didn't take a GPS marker though.
If you know Canyonlands, you don't really
ask the guy with flip-flops and board shorts.
Okay, so this is the court of public opinion. I think I've asked enough questions for our listeners to decide who is correct. Alex Kirry, who says it should have been picked up and taken and given to somebody or thrown away. Mm-hmm. Ethan Millard, who said he had concerns. He's with his kids. He's not going to, there's no trash cans. What if he gets pulled over with the stuff? What if that gets somebody in trouble who doesn't need to be in trouble?
See something, do nothing.
Right. Isn't that a song? Say something. Oh, no. Okay. So those are your two issues. Who do you agree with, Ethan or Alex?
The JayMac News Show. Fearless honesty.
The U.S. aircraft carrier is something that the North Koreans fear, and they have no capability against it.
Jay Mcfarland. Fearless. About the stories that really matter on KSL News Radio.
Welcome back to the JayMac News Show for this very special edition of the Court of Public Opinion, where I am the judge, the jury, and the sentencer.
Executioner.
I didn't say that. Ethan Millard joins us. Alex Kirry joins us from the Nightside Project podcast. Here's the story. Ethan's out in the wilderness. He stumbles.
Don't get me.
Yeah, don't get you. Ethan finds a bag of illegal goodies.
Marijuana and paraphernalia.
Yes, and he is what should be a moral conundrum. It sounds to me like you didn't even second guess it. You took a picture of it, left it there, and walked on.
It was not a moral conundrum until I made the mistake of mentioning it to Alex.
Yeah, and then
on our podcast, and I went, this isn't normal. So you just left it there? Yeah. Well, when you told this ranger about it, was he able to go back? Oh, I didn't tell anybody about it either.
So you thought you're going to leave it there.
Yep.
You're not going to tell a ranger. You don't want to get anyone else in trouble. You certainly didn't want to be caught with it and be carrying it around.
I had kids in my car.
He acted like this was a bear in the wilderness. Like, just look at it, back up.
So that's your defense. Alex Kirry, you think he should have picked it up, carried it to a place where he could throw it away or give it to a ranger or somebody else. All right,
or resell it.
I'm going to tell you what our listeners
resell it.
or transform it. I'm going to tell you what our listeners think, and then I will rule on the issue. Okay. Let's see. So, first rule. This is our at 57500. First rule of finding drugs in the desert is not talking about finding drugs in the desert.
I can accept that because I did watch Breaking Bad.
I saw Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It seems to jive as well.
Yeah.
This listener, burying is a win-win. I asked the question, did you think about burying it? But with Ethan's luck, a forest of pot plants would probably appear. Some of these listeners obviously know you too.
But see, and here's the other thing. You're burying it. Somebody walks up on you. What are you doing? Just burying these drugs?
This listener says, my folks found some in Four Corners, picked it up, and just threw it away at the first opportunity. I think pick it up was the right thing to do.
All right, okay.
Okay?
All right.
This listener, I absolutely agree. He should have left the drugs there.
Wow.
Yes.
All right?
Wow.
This listener, leave it there. Tell somebody what you saw and where it was. Yeah. No one who shouldn't find it will hopefully, and you're not caught with possession.
Right, okay.
And one more here. Jay, I think Ethan was right, except he should have let the ranger know exactly where it was.
Tell him.
All right, okay. Well, they know now if they listen to our podcast.
Are your fingerprints on it?
No,
Were you guys touching
you never touched it?
Were you touching it with pens? Was it like a CSI?
How
long has this been here?
I flipped it
4
over.
days.
That's how I saw that some little mouse had gotten to the edibles. Because I flipped
Some
it
little
over.
mouse.
It's some little mouses out there craving Doritos.
I was telling Ethan. Yeah, no, I was gonna say, Desert Mouse is the next name of our new band, bro. Desert Mouse.
So you're just gonna worry about the mouse and not the stuff that the mouse was eating?
Yes.
It should be Desert Gummy Mouse.
I could see
or something.
I could see a snake come along and just put the whole thing down. Just envelop that whole thing.
Really? Just in one shot?
With the vaporizer and everything.
I think that you should have done one of two things. All right? Here's what I think you should have, taken it off of the normal course, whether you buried it, put it behind a bush or something else, and then let somebody know. That would be option A.
All right.
Option B requires you to touch it, but if you're worried about being caught with the stuff, you could dump out all the stuff and just carry the other stuff out.
Oh, so dump the weed out in the bushes.
Yeah, nobody's going to find it. Nobody's going to know what it is when they see it.
Yeah,
all right?
Yeah.
But I'm armchair quarterbacking here, but that's what I'm best at on
now,
this
hold on.
show.
What about the option? Because it was along the banks of the Colorado River, right? Mm-hmm. That's essentially its own cement boots because it's got all that metal in there.
Fill it with rocks, throw it in there.
I'm not gonna
I don't know. That's littering.
So some of you guys are high ground about littering, even though you left a bunch of litter in the desert. Fine.
So I think you could have dumped out the natural stuff,
right.
But again, that requires you to touch it. But then you can hike it out, and you're not worried about possession.
Okay.
You're not worried about somebody pulling you over.
Right.
And you just throw it away. And then you don't have to tell anyone about it. Nobody gets in trouble.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
The problem that I'm finding is that you didn't face any moral conundrum when you saw it whatsoever.
Why is that a problem?
He's all, I'm clean conscience. What he means is
you have no soul or concern about any other animals or humans who may be coming across this.
With as many states that have weighed in on this, I'm beyond feeling major moral conflict over something like someone else's marijuana.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the child who's 10 feet ahead of his parents, walking down, sees the gummy bears and starts eating them, and they turn out to be meth gummies or something else.
Meth gummies.
I can see.
That's what I'm saying. Concern for your fellow man or for the other animals. I find you guilty of having a lack of humanity or concern for other people who might be coming across that
I know
track.
it might shock you, Jay, but he is of the ilk
devastating.
I made the decision, and not only did I make the decision, it was the best decision that anybody could have ever made out in the desert.
Jay,
no drugs have ever been left in a better way.
People
like never before.
Really successful people you've totally heard of have been calling me, telling me I did the right thing. Nobody does it better than me.
We're going to have drug force.
All three doing Trump?
Drug force. Oh, my heavens.
So there you go. That's my ruling.
How do
you?
I like it. Because it mostly agrees with me, so I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I respect you too much to make an appeal to your face. I'll do it with Alex when we leave.
Yeah. Your sentence is 5 more years of having to co-host on the Nightside Project with Alex Kirry.
But we could take this all the way up to the next level. We could do Doug Wright, get him in as like an appellate judge.
That's true. You could appeal to Doug Wright. He is the higher court in the land.
Us go, hey, Doug, I just wanted to see if you'll hear this court case. Okay? Ethan found some drugs in the desert.
I was totally misrepresented.
No, thank you.
My rights were violated. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. A reminder, listen to Alex, Kirry, Ethan Millard every single day on the Nightside Project podcast, in the KSL News Radio app, or on Apple Podcasts. Just subscribe. That's the easiest way to get it every single day. Thanks again, guys.